My friend, today I do not come to comfort you. I came to wake you up. I come to shock you out of the veil of doubt, to remind you that the discomfort you feel is not a sign of failure, but of something significantly larger. That sensation inside you, the one thought whispers, "I am lost," that deep, hurting voice. That tells you that you don't know who you are anymore, that you don't know what way to accept that voice is not your enemy. It is not a sign that you are weak or broken. It is not a sign that you are failing. It is your awakening. The fact is, we only awoken when we are forced to confront the unexpected. Growth does not come in moments of assurance. It comes when life pulls away everything familiar, everything we believed we could rely on, and forces us to stand alone, freed of illusions. This is where metamorphosis begins. I know this since I have lived it. When I left Hong Kong at 18, I believed, understood who I was. I had trained in martial arts under renowned masters. I had acquired trust in my abilities, in my power, in my understanding of the world. But the instant I stepped onto American soil, none of that mattered. America did not care who I was. It did not care about my past, my skills, or my dreams. It stripped me of every label I had adhered to, the identity I had carefully built, the young martial artist, the disciplined student, the rising star in my nation. None of it meaning anything here. The world was indifferent to my existence. My confidence, previously unassailable, now felt like a thin layer of armor that had been cracked and abandoned. I felt little, uncertain, invisible. My trust in my own strength, my understanding of myself, it was all broken. I stood in the center of a foreign land, facing the weight of this truth. I was no longer who I thought I was, and in that void, I had a choice. Would I grieve the bits of myself that had gone away? Would I spend my days clinging to what was frantically striving to cling on to a past that no longer existed? Would I allow myself become bitter, resentful of the world for taking away my sense of identity? Or would I regard this as an opportunity? Would I take this destruction and utilize it as the foundation to build something greater? Would I let rid of my old self, so think I may become something stronger, something truer? This is the time you are in right now. You are not lost. You are not shattered. You are unformed, made like a sword. Forge, you are being sculpted by fire. The extreme heat, the pressure, the hammering, it may feel uncomfortable, but the fire is not there to destroy you. It is there to purify you, to strip away what is weak, what is unnecessary, so that only the strongest, truest version of you remains. Most people fear. Moment they witness the fire and assume they are being roasted alive. They witness the emptiness and mistake it for an ending. But those who comprehend metamorphosis know the truth. This is not destruction. It is rebirth. This is your awakening. And what occurs next is up to you. Most people transform not because they lack the skill, not because they lack intelligence, but because they cling to comfort like a drowning man clings on a fragment of driftwood. People mistake familiarity for security, even when it is keeping them caught in a circle of mediocrity. They do not challenge. Have been taught, they accept the traditions passed down to them. Even if those traditions no longer serve them, they follow the same rules, the same beliefs, the same patterns, without stopping to wonder, if this the correct road for me? Yet here is the ugly truth: comfort is the enemy of growth. When we are comfortable, we cease inquiring. When we stop questioning, we stop evolving. And when we cease evolving, we be caught living out someone else's script, pursuing a route that leads to nowhere. People fear walking into the unknown, since it causes them to risk failure, to risk rejection, to risk losing assurance they have constructed around themselves. But assurance is an illusion. I learned this lesson in the worst way possibility when I encountered my first actual combat in America. I executed a flawless technique, a move I had rehearsed thousands of times. My body reacted. False. Only then will you be free to become. Most individuals fear the feeling of being lost. They regard uncertainty as an evidence of failure, as if not knowing their exact path means they have somehow slipped behind in life. But this is a mistaking, a risky one. The truth is being lost is not a problem. It is an opportunity. The true risk is not in feeling lost. It is in rushing to fill that emptiness too quickly. Most people, the instant they feel uneasy, reach desperately for the first thing that gives them a sense of stability. They choose the first job that seems secure, even if they despise it. They persist in relationships that no longer serve them because they are terrified of being alone. They cling to old beliefs, even when those beliefs no longer feel true. But transformation does not happen by grabbing onto something safe. It happens when you allow yourself to be in the unknown long enough to uncover something genuine. Think about the caterpillar. It does not know it will become a butterfly. It does not have a guidebook telling it what is about to happen when it enters the chrysalis. It does not just grow wings. Nighttime, it dissolves in time. It dissolves entirely. It becomes formless, unrecognizable, and massive. Tremendous raw potential if it were to fight same procedure. If it sought to hold on to its previous shape, it would never emerge as something better. You are in that stage just now. I also had to go through this before. I could construct Jet Kundu before I could establish a new way of thinking about martial arts. I had to destroy everything. I thought I knew. I had spent years mastering traditional approaches, perfecting organized forms, repeating drills that had been passed down for generations. But when I truly put them to the test, I saw their limits. I noticed that tradition had become a prison. At that point, I had a choice. Would I cling to what was familiar, merely because it gave me a sense of certainty, or would I let go of all I thought I know and step into the unknown? I did not replace one style with another. I did not swap one stiff structure for a different one. Instead, I removed everything. Unneeded, what remained was not a new style. What remained was reality. Most individuals do the reverse. Instead of letting go, they hang on even tighter. They convince themselves that they need more knowledge, more titles, more opinions, more validation. They bury themselves under distractions, under unnecessary intricacy, under layers of identity that do nothing but weigh them down. But the path to mastery is not about adding. It is about removing away. Think of a sculptor. He does not make a masterpiece by adding additional clay to a block of stone. He removes what is unnecessary until the true form is revealed. This is what you got to do with oneself. I tell you today, you do not must add more to become amazing. You do not need to chase after more achievements, more approbation, more realizing. What you need is to let go of every false belief that has been placed upon you. Let go of the fear. It says you must always have everything understood out. Let go of the need to impress others, to follow the path they anticipate of you. Because real greatness is not about becoming something more. It is about becoming who you truly are. Like life does not test you softly. It does not ask permission before it throws challenges in your path. It does not allow you time to prepare, to collect your strength, to formulate a plan. It strikes when you least expect it, and when it does not strike lightly. It will break you in places you did not even know could shatter. It will take the things, depend on the things you believed were steadfast, and pull them away without warning. It will drain you of your confidence in the very identity you built for yourself. And when you are lying there, shattered, life will whisper now, "What, I know this since I have lived it." When I got major back injury, I was informed that I might never kick again. Imagine that the very thing that characterized me, the movement, the speed, the power I have prepared my entire life to perfect, was snatched from me in an instant. The doctors were confident. They spoke in calm, precise voices, as if my fate was already sealed. They expected me to embrace it, to resign myself to a lower version of who I once was, the world, expecting me to submit. But I did not, because in that moment I asked myself a question, one that changed everything. Who am I? If I can no longer fight for so long, I had identified myself by my physical strength, my skill, my ability to move, to strike, to defend. Yet now that part of me had been hauled away, and so I was compelled to look deeper. The solution arrived in the darkness. I am more than my body. I am greater than my past. I am what I decide to become. That realization changed everything. I did not allow my injury to define me. I allowed it to refine me. And so I rebuilt. I trained differently. I studied harder. I enlarged my understanding of movement, of energy, of the core essence of martial arts. I pushed through the agony, not foolishly, although with intention. I stopped seeing my injury as an impediment and started seeing it as an opportunity. I did not merely recuperate, I evolved. And now I turn this knowledge to you. You have been hurt. You have been doubted. You have been told. You are not enough. Individuals have questioned. Life has tested you. Maybe you have even started to believe that you are shattered, that you are not capable of becoming who you want to be. Good, because that means you have power waiting to be unlocked. Not they. Let the fire engulf them. They allow themselves to be destroyed by difficulty, by pain, by the voices that tell them to cease. But those who understand the truth, those who regard hardship not as an end, but as a beginning, are the ones who emerge from the flames stronger, sharper, unbreakable. You have that same choice now. Let your wounds be your teacher. Let your anguish be your fuel. Let life try you, but never allow it overcome you, because the truth is no challenge, no hurt, no hardship can break you until you allow it to. Most people spend their life waiting for the right opportunity, waiting until they feel ready, waiting, expecting the terror to disappear, waiting for the ideal moment. However, here is the ugly fact. The perfect moment does not exist. It never has, it never will. How many dreams have died because someone was waiting for the proper time? How many talents have withered away because someone convinced themselves they weren't ready? How many lives have been lost? Indecision, in doubt, in waiting for a sign that never came. Do not let this be your tale. If you are waiting for confidence, it will not come. It will not come. Confidence is not something you receive before you take action. It is something you construct via action. If you are waiting for clarity, you will never find it. By standing motionless, clarity is the product of movement, of trial and error, of stepping forward into the unknown. If you are waiting for certainty, understand this life will never offer you guarantees. You will never have all the answers before you begin, but you do not require confidence. You do not need clarity. You do not require certainty. You only need the courage to take the first step. I learned this firsthand. When Hollywood tried to control my future, they saw me as just another Asian actor. They wanted me to portray the role. They had already written stereotypes, sidekicks, characters who were weak, subservient, one-dimensional. They told me this is how the system works. This is your only path to success. If I had waited for permission, I'd still be waiting. If I had waited for acceptance, I would have vanished into the background. If I had listened to their voices instead of mine own, I would have never become Bruce Lee, they said. I was throwing my future away, but I did not come to fit within their society. I came to make my own, and so must you, whatsoever you are uncertain. On any dream you have been pushing aside, whatever activity you know you must take, but keep delaying, do it immediately tonight before you sleep. I want you to perform something basic but strong. Put down one belief that is keeping you back. A belief that keeps you little, or a concept that tells you that you are not adequate, and then trash it, rip it up, burn it, let it go. Tomorrow morning, do one thing, one activity, no matter how tiny, that conveys your real self. No excuses, no reluctance, not next week, not next year, tomorrow. Since you do not need permission, you do not need permission. You do not need someone to inform you that you are ready, right here, right here, here, right here, here exactly as you are. The only question is, will you begin? Many will tell you be like water. They say this because water is versatile. It adopts the shape of whatever holds it. It travels effortlessly through obstacles. It flows without resistance, finding the simplest path forward. Yes, water adapts. Yes, water flowing. But this is not the complete reality. Water is not only gentle, it is not merely passive. Water is relentless. A single decline may seem weak, but over time that drop may wear down the hardest stone. A stream may look little, yet given time it carves valleys through mountains. A river may flow silently, but when it gathers enough force, it can destroy everything in its path. Water is powerful, because it never stops moving. Do not mistake adaptability for piety. Do not mistake flexibility for weakness. Yes, water may go around hurdles, but when necessary, it crashes through them. When a dam is constructed in its way, water does not turn back. It builds pressure, it rises, and when it has gathered enough force, it breaks through. This is how you must be in your own life. Do not merely flow. Flow with purpose. Do not just adapt. Use every challenge to alter oneself. Do not only adjust to circumstances. Form them of folks will tell you to be patient. They will advise you to wait. They will tell you to accept things as they are. But you were not designed to remain still. A puddle of stagnant water breeds decay. A river that stops moving turns into a swamp. Water only remains pure when it keeps flowing, when it keeps moving forward. And so must you. You must keep pushing ahead. No matter how modest the step, you must keep learning, growing, evolving. You must keep slamming through every impediment in your path. You are like water, not because you are soft, but because you are unstoppable. Not because you yield, but because you yield, but because you persist. Not because you take the shape of your surroundings, but because you have the capacity to shape the globe around you. So, now go. Do not wait. Don't hesitate. Become who you were supposed to